Hey everybody, hope you're doing great today. In this video, I'm going to show you a walkthrough I recently did with a local home inspector. I walked through a new construction home with Todd Engel of Good Eye Home Inspection. Todd's the owner of Good Eye Home Inspection, been inspecting for a number of years, as you're going to see in this footage here very soon. And the primary point of this video is to show you the benefit that one can get by having a home inspection for a new construction home. So this home is a new construction home. The owner hasn't moved in yet. They were planning on closing within a week or two after this home inspection. So it was a little bit early inspection-wise in terms of what Todd would have preferred, as you'll hear in the video. But he was able to inspect most of the home, kind of focus in on some issues. And with those issues, he's going to inform the buyer, basically, these are the things that need to be worked on and that they can sit down with the builder and let the builder know, hey, we need these things repaired. Generally, with a lot of new construction homes, you'll get a 1-year warranty. So some of these things you do want to get taken care of before closing, if possible. Some things due to weather, inability to work outside, frozen ground, whatnot. Obviously, some things have to wait until the weather is appropriate when the builder can address those issues. So as you can see from the video, there was a number of issues caught. It's rare these days that you're going to find a perfect new construction home where there won't be any issue found. But the great thing about having a home inspector walk through the home is they're going to identify any issues for you and let you know, hey, these things need to be addressed. That way the buyer can work with the builder, get everything fixed up to where it should be, and then have less to worry about once they move in. So let's take a look at the walkthrough right now.
So when I'm taking exterior pictures, we can see that, and then got a light bulb out here, got a light bulb out in the basement. I already took that picture, so again, I'm gonna turn everything off as I go. Vacant homes, I'm gonna yank on these a little bit, make sure they're very sturdy. Trim's finished, hinges look good, all the screws are in place. Doors shut and closing real well. Check toilets, make sure they're not loose. Obvious drain stoppers. Does anybody use those anymore? Maybe. Check the plumbing pitch. We got shut-offs. Looks good. No signs of any previous leaks. Yeah, cosmetics, but I'm here to find stuff that's gonna hurt you, kill you, or cost you a lot of money, or install correctly. We already ran this shower for over 20 minutes.
No leaks.
A little loose, but they use silicone inside here on the wall, on the corners, which is correct, instead of grout. It's got a nice pitch. I'll come in and check the sealant all the way around. Make sure the shower head's not loose, faucet's not loose. Water pressure's good. And I do videos for the client showing that the sink is full. Come down, feel it with your hand. Make sure these tight connections, no leaks. Also, this is $1 million property, and regardless, even if it was a $200,000 property, we make sure that vanity's not cut, tore up. Here's a good one for you. So, new construction. Look inside the vent. So if you don't cover up your vents when they're doing drywall in the beginning stages, that's what you're left with.
A lot of dust, yeah.
Look at that. Look at my hands. The finger marks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ton.
With any new house, I recommend getting a
Duct cleaning.
Yeah, duct cleaning out, yep.
Check thermostat.
Is this the only inspection you're going to do in this house? You're going to do one after everything has been cleaned up out of here?
No. If the buyer wants me to come back, yes, but after today, we're usually done. It's between them and the builder, especially the water heater and no gas. They're gonna have to verify all that.
What's the most times you ever inspected a new construction home? Like how many times are you coming out?
3.
3?
3 drywall, final, and then one I had in Milford about a year and a half, 2 years ago. it was so horribly done that the buyer hired me to come back again
Okay.
after they said repairs were completed.
So you can even do one after or right before the home warranty is about to expire, the building warranty.
Question. We do some of those. Nice see-through shower. It's kind of cool, I guess. Let's walk in. Oh yeah, that was turned off. I need to find the GFCI reset.
It looks kind of dirty there.
Yeah. Now usually on these new construction there'll be a key down here. And they'll see it. Sometimes on the thinner plastic lines they have a key that they attach to that to take out the aerator, clean it.
Yeah.
Mine, same way, about 5 years. It started to get the sediment in there. And if you don't have a whole house water filter or a water softener, it's probably going to be every 2 or 3 years. Now I've done this. I come in, start the dishwasher immediately. This one is not mounted correctly. Up here, garbage disposal works, but down here, we're missing a cable clamp that protects that wire. But what I really want to check, and this is missed a lot, is a gas shutoff within reach. Okay, and we've got it, and it has to be hard piped up through the floor. You can't run flexible hose through there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not connected.
So what made you determine that this wasn't properly connected in the washer?
When I open it up, I'm not going to open it up now because she's running. There's no metal bracket up here to the granite or hard surface that's mounting it, so it's kind of loose back and forth.
So I see you taking videos as well. Are those videos just for you, or are they also for the buyer?
For the buyer.
So they go directly to the buyer?
Yep, definitely want them to know and understand most of what they're going to run into. And it eliminates extra wasted calls and, it's extra communication too.
They're attached as part of the report, or they're
Yes, they're attached inside the report. It is operational, filters are clean, on, off, lights are working well. And then when we go out to do the exterior, I'll check the venting again here and on the attic when I do the attic last. You got some stains and spots up there on the ceiling, bring that up to your builder.
So if the gas are connected, typically you would turn on the stove.
Oh yeah, fire it up. And funny thing is, inspectors are not required to check appliances, but we all pretty much do. They're staying with the homes nowadays. Convection bag. And here's your fancy microwave over here. You gotta put some water in a cup. I will do a video on this again showing it's operational. Microwave. Close. Drawer's working. We'll fire up the heat and check the heat temps in a bit. So that's an example of a video. That beverage. We're gonna let that roll for a second. Throughout the process, I'll run. We run generally water for over an hour, hour and a half everywhere. Showers 15, 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and do it again, and then go to the basement back and check for leaks. I already ran this immediately when I first started coming in. That's when I knew the gas, or water heater was not connected. Start. See, we usually try to do things a couple times. Weather strippings in. We'll check that ceiling fan. Outside, when we do the outside, I don't see a remote anywhere. Let's park that in my brain. Do a heat temp on the microwave. Showing the dials are working and functioning.
Warmed up.
Very hot.
It's a good sign.
Temping good, not filthy. Mostly concerned with the temps, the seals, and I'm not going to pull this out because I don't want to scratch up the hardwood floors, but what kind of water line back there? We don't like to see the copper water lines. Those pinch and crimp
So
quickly and easily.
what's typically used then?
Little flex hose. Those are safer, last longer. Lights, spotless. Heat temps are good. And then we always leave these, we're going to turn this off just to make sure. And sometimes, this is a very fancy one, but sometimes with the control panels and all the fancy technology we have today, you say it's off, but then it doesn't shut off. So we're going to leave these open, and by the end of the inspection, come back and make sure that they're not on still. Or we check fireplace. It was gas shut off again.
So not turned on, not plugged up?
Not ready for inspections. The builder should have
Okay.
figured this out, don't everybody? Builder should have waited maybe another week to have us come out. We'll go back to that.
So the builder calls the inspection when you're ready, or?
Yep. Garage is. Garage door, definitely fire rated, hinges look good. Have to have weather stripping here. So we'll also do a video of, 2 videos.
No longer a requirement for these spring-loaded doors that close the...
Now, you have an attic here in the garage. You have double insulated doors, a dedicated outlet, and the auto reverse sensors are less space wet. No signs of any daylight at the bottom. Do a second one. I still point that out in the report that it's not a self-closing door. And there's easy ways to fix that. I think it is required in some states.
Okay.
Do another video. Video 2 on the door. Going up, going down, etc. Door sounds good, there's no slack in the chain. We'll check the tracks and mounts. And then your coil looks good. On some of those garages where there's just so much stuff, you can't see anything at all. Usually, and that's frustrating for the termite company, but they, when you can't see anything and somebody's trying to move out or they're just clutter hoarders, there's termites somewhere. And we get calls on that 4 or 5 times a year. We go back to the report and they're like, we couldn't see anything.
Is that for existing homes? Do you also do termite inspections for new?
We don't do them on new construction. Some builders pre-treat the soil. See, I killed that GFCI outlet. Some builders pre-treat the soil, not too many. Usually we don't see termites on new construction for about 7 to 10 years.
Okay.
Another loose outlet. This knockout should be removed. I'm going to point that out for the builder to do it. These can be very, very difficult to do yourself and cut yourself, so drain pipe connections, make sure there's no leaks, immediate. And then we feel around the edges, make sure there's no leaks. I'm going to trip this. Boom. It's definitely a working GFCI, probably resets at the panel. I'm going to point this knockout right here for the builder to remove. Yeah, those can hurt you. Trying to remove those. Then we got another loose outlet right here. Loose.
What's the typical fix for a loose outlet?
What's that?
What's the typical fix for a loose outlet?
It's easy. Usually just take the plate off, there's 2 screws there and there, just tighten it up. This is the first one. The last one was another builder in Mason where there was about 27 loose outlets throughout the whole house. But the rest of the house was really good condition, but those loose outlets can cause the wire to get back there loose, not safe. Drywall mud inside the panel.
Gets inside the dryer vent.
Yeah, right here.
Potential fire hazard.
Yeah, well, all that drywall dust and then mixed with lint.
Can cause problems.
Yeah. And if you're spending $1 million or $200,000, here's a good one for you. Look at that.
Yep, quite a bit of dirt in there.
Pride in your work.
How long have you been inspecting?
Been in the real estate for 25 years and started inspecting in Kentucky around 2006. So been doing it a long time. Believe it or not, took a break for a while because I was too thorough and too detailed. I lost business from a lot of realtors before the mortgage crisis and decided to throw in the towel on it. I'm checking to make sure these are mounted well, just for safety. So I got out for a while, but then got back into it after the mortgage crisis, and it turned out to be a blessing with that because now, because of certain laws and accountability and the mortgage crisis, realtors want you to be thorough and detailed. Protect the client.
Clients should want that too.
Absolutely. So what killed me in the past is a blessing today. It's our business. We run about 2,000 inspections a year, and we stay super busy. Again, I'm not going to assume that the builder is going to fix all this or catch it, but you got an exposed plate. Looks like lancing. Looks like previous water damage. And then these GFCIs, I gotta check where the reset is, but simple, easy fix. Obviously tile. I had a house a couple days ago where I was walking on the tile and it was actually popping down and up. So that's just not installed correctly, not enough mortar below. Could be a couple other things, but definitely want to point that out. You never know if the client's going to step on that snap.
Crack it, yep.
Yeah, this might be what he was talking about with finishing the wall.
Yeah, the builder mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. Plus, I was not getting any water in here. Secure, I already checked this window. We definitely have caulking, silicone, here, grout here, but you don't ever want to put grout in these corners. We got a nice drop on this bench. You can visibly see it.
Did you get up on the roof at all, check the skylight?
Yeah, later, when it's 20 degrees. I'd rather get up to 23 degrees before I do that. Now, another way to check the skylights is with an infrared camera. Now, there's a reason we put in the reports it hasn't rained in 4 days. And skylights that are installed, that's where your first roof leak is usually going to come from. They're problematic, known for it. Now there is some melting snow, a little ice, but we'll utilize the infrared camera to help us.
Okay.
And you got to check it in every angle, of course, not just one. Right now it looks good. And it looks like we do have insulation wrapped around the skylight walls. Pocket door on both sides. Looks good, working, not scratched up. We're gonna go back and check the electrical panel downstairs. Those fancy plug-ins for their cell phones for later.
USB plugs, yep.
Yeah, put the
your reports typically? How many pages?
70.
And then the video is attached directly to them, and they can go check the links.
Yep.
Obviously, you always answer questions for the, if they have any questions on the report.
Absolutely. We send a follow-up email to the client and let them know at any time. We're not one and done. Contact us a year or two later. You got a question? Let us know. You can save the reports. They're web-based. They're saved forever, basically. Yeah, sometimes when you're inspecting, you look outside, you can see some stuff's not done correctly. We don't have rake edge, and the shingle overhang is way too long. See how it's coming over?
Yeah.
That's way too far out. And rake edge would be flashing that goes on that fascia board underneath there,
Okay.
underneath the shingles. It's just a little piece, but it's required with re-roofs and new roofs. While I'm standing here, we're gonna point that out. Also note that the vegetation grading is not done, even though, you know, it's winter time,
Yeah.
but still hold them accountable to getting it complete, because this can turn into a legal document. Oh, and remember the hood? Looked like some stains. Dirty fingers from them installing. Yeah, see that, like a little kitty pointer.
Yeah.
This is very helpful for clients instead of clean that up a little bit.
Cosmetics, that's something you cover in your new inspection, or
New construction,
new construction, yeah.
Yeah, heat's definitely off. Yep, shut those down for safety. From my understanding, it's a discretion. We're not supposed to put them here anymore. Evidently, toasters, a kid comes by and grabs the cord.
Pulls the cord
You
down.
can have it optional to put the outlet up here on a pop-up, or the builder can hardwire our junction box down there with the wiring so you can do it in the future. But on new builds, personally, I think it's dumb because we use our outlet daily.
Yeah, we have one too.
So you're not going to see that anymore on new builds. It's a new electrical code for Ohio. The house I had a couple days ago was new build. The buyer did pay to have the optional
Pop-up one.
which is nice. Until you spill water into it or margarita.
You know, water and electricity don't mix.
I'm gonna leave those off. Oh, still gonna do this. Nope, we're gonna turn this back down, thermostat. So we do a post-inspection video at the end, showing that the appliances are off, floors are clean, not in this case because the builder's not done. But we're gonna still do a post-inspection video, 62 on the thermostat, that's where we found it. Oven's off, dishwasher drained, it didn't hold any water, etc. That I might see down the road, as far as cracks, big picture items, what sticks out like a sore thumb right away. Remember, we had the flooring issues at the front. We don't have them here, so I'm glad I pointed that out.
So that's your first initial 15 minutes of walking through. You just walk through the entire house.
Yeah, just get a good feel for it, kind of like how an athlete warms up before. And you see, watch this. Oh, no, that's not too bad. Yeah, still got a lot of cleaning to do. Yeah, it's just good practice. And we might tell a client 9 to 12. The other day I was at a house from 8 a.m. until 12:30. We don't get paid by the hour, we get paid for our knowledge and risking our lives, man. Let's check those breakers. Washer. Bath outlets. Bath outlets right here. Now we can go check again. Yeah, so the builder should have never, he should have had this ready for me or pushed off the inspection until a week later because the buyer's probably not going to be happy that the house is not. I think he's closing in a few days.
Okay.
They're just going to rush and hurry. But water heater, permit sticker from the city. Doesn't mean it's done right. We still come in. I've seen a lot of county inspectors sit in their truck and just give the permit and say bye because they're too busy. I've had that from licensed plumbers tell me that. So it doesn't matter. Hard piped up, nice expansion tank, but again, just not ready. And you're right, he said he didn't have gas, but I got a video of the furnace blowing and heating very well. All right, we'll check those outlets again.
So we're just checking them, make sure that
because
the power's back on.
Earlier when we were talking about the skylight, I was checking them, I had no power. I'm gonna check them all. Yep, that one's good. And I already checked the kitchen, but those under cabinet lighting under the cabinets in the kitchen, we're not coming on. All right. Good, good, and good. So if you move in, and this is not working, okay, first thing, go to your panel, that's where it resets. Okay, it's the breaker's resetting. Okay, you got a 1 year warranty, call the builder. But also on other homes, we get that many times where people don't look at the report. And we have documentation proof that in the report. Now, we're not going to take a picture of every single freaking outlet.
Yeah.
We'd be here for 12 hours. But that's proof and documentation that, and especially with us, we do our job so well. Our reports, I had one the other day, yesterday was 382 pictures with 20 videos. We will show you that we get to every single angle of the property so you're well protected. I've seen home inspection reports that are 9 pictures and 9 pages. Garbage. Always ask to see a sample inspection report. That will tell you how good that home inspector really is. All right, that's checked. Now the lights underneath the kitchen cabinets.
When you're doing the pre-drywall inspection, what are you looking for in that situation?
Cracked framing members, stuff not installed correctly. Biggest thing on pre-drywall is the outside house wrap not installed well. Overdriven staples or button nails are just not installed well. There's usually always a broken window, but the builder will get to that. And usually it's those two big things, or flashings not installed correctly on the roof areas, nail heads not sealed. Mold. Later on, we've had some issues with too much water in the basement on pre-drywall. They left some basement windows open and it rained excessively and the basement was a ½ inch of water everywhere. That needs to be cleaned up immediately. $500-some-thousand house is probably worth $1 million now, so this was 10 years ago. But I walked down in the basement and I saw this splatter on the staircase and the builder said, oh yeah, our spinner had busted and water was everywhere. So my first thing is, okay. It was a basement that had no windows. No egress, no ventilation other than a little vent. And I look up and there's just mold everywhere all over the floor joists. And I can say mold only after I've tested it, so I am licensed to do mold testing. But I have done so many now that I can just look at it and go, yeah, that's going to test high. But we still don't know what it is. But there was mold everywhere. But the builder fixed it. So those are some of the things that we can see on a pre-drywall. And then the next little thing I'm going to do here for the client after I figure out these lights. This is a new infrared camera. Really like it a lot. The technology's come really far.
Is that taking photos, videos?
Yeah, I can do both. Now this is an infrared camera as well, but this one is when it works and the app doesn't crash.
So you're just checking for like heat leakage, air leakage?
Mm-hmm. Water intrusion, missing insulation, which can help me when I go do the attic.
Do you do that inside and outside?
Sometimes, but always inside, but outside very rarely.
Okay.
Unless it's the day or two after a super heavy rain and we've got stone veneer outside and missing kick-out flashing on a gutter, then that would be a great time to do an infrared.
So outside similar?
So I can do picture-in-picture. It'll also detect overheating or overheated electrical.
These are pictures you also share with your
buyer
client?
Yep, I'll put these in the report.
When we're checking the outside, you're doing the same thing. You're looking at the switches, looking at the electrical outlets, power's running, loose switches.
Yep.
Then looking at the roof, the siding, whatnot.
Speaking of outside, you want to go freeze roll? This is dry stack. For Cincinnati's climate, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, just don't like it at all. It looks pretty, but again, they were not finished here. We'll come to that. So now it's too cold to come out here and paint and finish up these nail punches, but they're gonna have some extra stuff to do and finish for the client. Yeah, it's gonna be firm now, but I've seen plenty of these homes after about 5 years in Cincinnati, you're gonna be able to just pull this right off.
Yeah,
Or come up like I had that house the other day, and it just falls right off.
we got our humid summers.
Yep, and the water gets back in there. So it's 26 degrees right now. It's gonna rain Monday, and then it's gonna get to 50, 55 degrees, and then pop.
Freeze and back in again. Yep.
So that's why these things, this is not, I don't like it at all. Plus you should have a minimum of 6 inches. Soil mulch is too high. And they did install what's called a screed underneath here, which is great. I've seen a lot of builders not do that. Technically missed it right here. Should be also here. And that just prevents water from waking up underneath that stone. Right there.
What kind of ceiling do they put on there?
Exterior silicone sealant comes in, stops right down here. You're going to breathe a little bit.
Okay.
But flashing here is nice. Yeah, they still have to finish all these nail punches. Sealant right here around the boxes. Glass is not broken. Door's not buckling. Weather stripping's in. Left a nail in here for us. Can't even get that out. That is a heat pump, not an air conditioner. And you see how I just moved that? It should have straps or bolted in. It's got one. We'll come back to that. I love the safety grates for the egress windows. Maybe our dryer vent. Kind of close. It's not behind the unit. Rest of the foundation looks good. This Z flashing, this is correct. A little too far back in there. It's too cold for me to test these. We've been below freezing for 4 or 5 days now. Nice patio. Another common thing on new construction, the plumbing stacks in the back. White pipe coming out, they're always capped over usually. This one's been removed, but I'll throw my ladder up and get up there and see if we got another one. There probably is. Yeah, there will be another one because there was another stack in that furnace room. But they'll have a cap on it. The water pressure pressurizing the system. It needs to be removed prior to occupancy because that, if it stays covered, it can still dry out your traps. Again, it's still, all the exterior still needs to be finished over. So they did to finish these punches because water will get in there and eventually rot it. I like the drainage. Underground, downspouts supported, fireplace free, it's a vented fireplace, screens intact, no birds or nests in there, flashing, but again, they still need to finish up. Right here. Usually it's a lot of little things. 4 inches, I like to see 6 here by this stone because that stuff is so sensitive. We've got some blue tape up there on the windows. We'll check out that. Why is it there? And then real important, I can see that flashing where the roof meets the sidewall. That's nice. I like seeing that. Front porch, I can tell, has a good little drop and a slope to it. There's no trip hazards. Concrete's finished. And another common thing on new builds is the apron at the front of the driveway will be busted and damaged. Right here.
All the vehicle traffic.
Yeah, and large equipment. I make sure that this is in good condition because the builder will blame it on the developer. But still needs to be fixed. Nice control joints. Overall, good property, minus the loose outlets.
So there you have it. That was the walkthrough. You saw some of the issues that the home inspector found, that Todd found in this walkthrough. Right after I wrapped up filming, the buyer did come to the home to walk through the property as well. Todd was going to point out certain issues that he found. As he noted, it's going to be a final report prepared, emailed off to him. You get copies of the photos, videos, and everything there. So he has reference, directions, information for his house now and for the future. So overall, it was a very informative process. I got to see quite a bit of the inspection process, how it works. So hopefully you learned about the value of having a home inspection for a new construction home. Just because it's new construction doesn't mean necessarily that everything's going to be picture perfect. Having any issues identified, spotted, so that way you can let the builder know prior to closing. That'll help save some time. You don't have to worry about dealing with that stuff after you've closed on the home. Builder might have moved on to a different project, might even moved on to a different location. So getting them to come back can be a little more challenging. In this case, you have a list of what needs to be fixed in the house, something easy to provide to the builder, and they can do their repairs on an agreed upon schedule between the buyer and the builder. So I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. Share with others who you think might find it helpful too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.